So it can be really scary when you haven't competed for a while, or maybe you've never competed before and you're going back out there. So today we're making a special video with a special guest, Isobel Wessels, who is a 5-star international judge. She's going to be helping us with some amazing tips. So Isobel, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been around for quite a long time. I ride myself still. I've ridden internationally at Grand Prix for some years, and obviously lately more judging. I still do a lot of training, and I do a lot of FEI seminars for judges as well. And I've been really lucky. I've judged all over the world and many levels, Europeans for seniors and all the ponies, juniors, young riders, young horses that I love judging. So I've been very lucky. I've had quite an eclectic career as a judge, a rider and a trainer.
By the way, in the spirit of showing you guys the good, the bad and the ugly, I am going to perform some moves badly on purpose. Most of the time on purpose.
For the judge, this is a little bit like the rider coming in and showing the calling card. You know, you've got to make the judge sit up and really pay attention. So if you come in a really dynamic way and tick all the boxes, you've got the judge's interest straight away. So this is a nice active trot coming in, and the horse has made a very obedient transition, not quite direct enough, but quite nice and straight and standing still, and the move off is also more direct. So yes, could have been a little bit straighter, but in a much better way than our first one. So when the rider is coming in, if you're in an outside arena, don't try to turn too tight onto the centre. Get as far back from A as you can, so that you've got a good line to take to come in nice and straight. Look at C all the time. The judge wants to see 2 legs of the horse, not more. Now this was a very nice transition and a good halt, and the horse is standing very obedient and moving off very nicely. So this is a much higher mark, and at a novice level that would easily have an 8 or more. For the high marks, the transitions need to be really direct, and the horse must stand as square as possible, and the halt needs to be over X, so the rider's body is at X. So now we see another one coming in the trot. So this was a very progressive transition, and it's not at X, it's too early. So maybe the judge at C has given a high mark because it was nice and straight, but the judges at E and B have noticed that it's not at X, and therefore they're a bit lower in their scores. And that's why quite often the mark from the long side is a bit different to the one from the front. Okay, so coming in, it can be rising or sitting, depending on the level of the test. And here the horse has made an obedient transition, not totally square, but he's standing still, and this is really important. And a very submissive and easygoing transition out of the halt into trot. So for a novice, or even up to elementary, this was quite nice. Now we're going to show the transition from medium walk, which is now being shown, and then V to M, change the rein at free walk on a long rein. So the horse should stretch forward to the bit, keep the clear 4-beat rhythm, cover ground, show over track, really take the rein, want the feeling that the horse is marching and working through the whole body, not just moving the legs. And the horse then has to show acceptance of the rein being taken up again at M, so the rider can prepare for the medium walk without any loss of rhythm or resistance to the contact, and ready for the next movement. So This horse has shown that in a very nice way. He did everything relaxed and happy. He could have had a bit more marching in the walk, but it was regular and relaxed, and relaxation is really key in anything to do with the walk. So there's a bit of a thing now about when is a free walk, when is it extended walk. And I think what we'll do now, Olivia, is show a little bit collected walk and extended walk. So the collected walk is quite a difficult task for a horse. The rider has to keep the clear forebeat. The horse has to have a lot of carriage and activity. There's no over-tracking in collection, and the horse has to really have an uphill tendency. And then going into extended, then it's a little bit like the trot and the canter. The horse has to work through the whole frame, cover more ground, show the over-track, but the horse is a little bit more connected onto the bridle than he would be in a free walk. It's more like a longer rein with the horse just softly in the contact. In the extended walk, there's more connection and a little bit more feeling that the horse is really on the aids, and then able to accept the collection to come back. And now, Olivia, perhaps on this long side, so we can really see it, just do now a free walk again. So the horse you can see he wants to follow the hand and stretch. The rein should be kept a little bit more steady. So it's not a loose rein, it's a long rein. And the horse a little bit in front of the vertical, stretching, totally relaxed. He could march a little bit more, but the rhythm is fine and there is over-track. And this is a big test for any horse, especially the horses with the really big walk, because if the rider gives the rein away more, they're more inclined to then keep a really good rhythm. Sometimes when there's a little bit more of a connection, the rider is not able to keep that rhythm so perfectly shown. And of course, rhythm is very, very important. So it's a tough one to judge sometimes as well as to ride. And I think everyone has to do what they feel is best for their horse in their stage of training. And I think this horse shows clearly the free walk and the slight difference then to the extended walk. So now we're going to link a few movements together. They're fairly simple movements, but it shows the importance of the seamlessness of the test, that the rider can ride with fluency and harmony and show the horse in the best possible way. So in this elementary level test, we start with this half 20-meter circle in the working trot, followed by a half 10-meter circle and a leg yield to M. So here all the way through, the horse shows the same trot, the same balance and rhythm, which is very important. So the seamlessness is more obvious. So perhaps we can show that now on the other rein. And here again, this is the first part of the movement, the half 20-meter circle. The horse is nicely forward in a clear rhythm. Here we have a half 10 flowing very nicely, and then forward and supple into the leg yield. Very nicely done out of the previous movement. And this is what we want to see, that the horse seamlessly goes from one movement to the next. It shouldn't look disjointed or in any way jerky. The smoothness, fluency and harmony always is a mark earner. So that was really nicely done, and I think it showed exactly what we're trying to say. It might be nice now to just show how it can look if a rider doesn't link the movement so nicely. So perhaps, just do it a little less well. So it's when the rider is able to show the movements in a really good way, the judge can really appreciate the way of going and has the chance to give really nice marks. If there's a tendency to lose this fluency, obviously the marks come lower. And here we can see the leg yield to the right is a little bit unbalanced. The direction and fluency was not so good. But at the end of the day, this is all about trot. We have the trot flowing through the whole group of movements. So here's again the half 20. Then we want to see there going on to the half 10. There was a slight disturbance in the contact which interrupted the fluency, and there a rather unbalanced and too much neck bend approach to the leg yield. So this clearly was less marks in every direction. And the other thing is that for the end of the test, when I, as the judge, have to give marks for the rider or the impulsion or the suppleness, all those things, the mark is less because the horse didn't show this fluency. So the movements were not as nicely linked as the previous movement that we saw. So this is a real mark earner. The way of going, harmony, ease, lightness, small aids, and the horse seamlessly going from one movement to the next. This is a mark earner. I'm sure Olivia will agree. It feels nice, and it's nice to judge. That's really important. I think judges are always trying their best to give good marks, so if you can oblige us and do a lovely test like that, then we're happy.
So there you have it, guys. That is the video all around test riding. I really hope you found it useful. I'd love to know what you thought about this. So in the comments, just write what level you're at and what your main struggle is, and I will try and comment back some advice. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this one.